Hi, welcome to the FIGH channel. Alexander Usyk is outraged by the actions of the world's leading promoters. The situation in the heavyweight division is becoming more and more complicated. Yes, the WBC world champion Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder have agreed on a fight, but the owner of other prestigious belts, Anthony Joshua, after the breakdown of the fight with Fury, everything became completely unclear. In theory, AJ shouldn't have quickly agreed on a fight with the official contender for the WBO belt Alexander Usyk. But suddenly throwing began in the British camp. It seems that they themselves do not know what to do. British promoter Frank Warren tried to extinguish the fire that broke out in the bud. He started talking about a compensation for Wilder, hoping that he would agree to an amount in the range of $20 million. Bob Arum, who always saved on his boxers, said that he would not give Wilder a penny, and Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn was simply furious with everything that was happening and started talking about alternative options for Joshua. Anthony himself did not make loud statements, while Fury reacted to rumors about Wilder's desire to receive $20 million for refusing to fight. Tyson considered such demands inadequate and made it clear that he would prefer to beat Deontay again than allow him to earn such money out of the blue. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to the channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers on my channel. I'm trying very hard and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. The fact that Usyk was tired of uncertainty became clear after his recent interview. In it, he made it clear that promoters of the caliber of Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum care only about their own interests, completely neglecting sports principles. Moreover, Alexander hinted that perhaps the best attitude towards him is dictated only by the fact that he does not represent the United States or Great Britain, but Ukraine. I know that I am a mandatory candidate, but I remain as a spectator in front of the internet. I know that they want to make a mega fight. Everyone else, like me and everyone else, are passengers. We're just watching and waiting for something. I think that we just all, my entire team, need to box and not wait for someone to box. I'm not exactly clinging to the status of an official applicant. I didn't put myself in the first place in the WBO rating. Show me someone else who would have such an opportunity, and he will just give it away. I will tell you, as a citizen of Ukraine, it is much more difficult for me. They think that we're some kind of third world country there. They are twisting something between themselves and everything else there. Let's box. Let them show that they are stronger. I'm here, ready to box with anyone. Joshua, Fury, Joyce. Give me some specifics. I am in the first place in the WBO ranking. Give Joshua the title of Super Champion and give me a regular belt. Can it be the same? I also want to see the Fury-Joshua fight. I really want to see this fight. But let's give other guys an opportunity as well, so as not to wait and not be an eternal contender. We make the belts known, and not the belts us, Usyk said. In addition, Alexander Usyk made it clear that he no longer intends to box for a title of an official contender. Recently, Usyk was offered a duel for a title of contender, according to the IBF version, with the undefeated Croatian Filip Hrgovic. Hrgovic? It's not interesting at all. Yes, I say that I'm ready to box with anyone. But how many times do I still have to fight for a title of a contender? Can Joshua really give up the title? Probably yes. Many experts believe that he does not want to fight with Usyk and risk the belts. In case of refusal of the fight with Alexander, Anthony will conduct an intermediate defense for himself with former rivals like Dillian Whyte or Joseph Parker. And then he will wait for a duel with the winner of the Fury-Wilder pair. Anyway, the heavyweight division in any case will give 2 or even 3 title fights, in case of Joshua's refusal to fight with Usyk in the summer of 2021. So boxing fans will definitely not have to be bored this time. If Deontay stands firmly on his principal position, then we will need to say a huge thank you to him. Of course, the Joshua-Fury fight is intriguing, but these two plan to fight twice in a row, and given how rarely they fight, the whole action would have dragged on for a year. Thus, the same Alexander Usyk, Deontay Wilder, Joe Joyce, Dillian Whyte will be artificially excluded from the championship race for a long time, which does not correspond to the competitive principles of sports in any way. In confirmation of the fact that the fights of Fury Wilder and Joshua Usyk are more than real, insider information about possible dates has become available. The duel may take place on July 24, columnist Mark Kriegel reported, referring to Bob Arum, and insider Mike Coppinger reported that the dates of August 25. Of course, the functionaries still have time to make some kind of mega offer to Wilder. But it seems that for Deontay, the sports component, honor and the desire to be the best mean more than the easy 20 million that he could get by simply signing a paper refusing to fight with Fury. For our part, we need to thank the Bronze Bomber. There are still people with principles in the world of boxing, which means it is too early to bury these sports, as has often been done recently. British promoter Eddie Hearn confirmed that the fight between WBA, IBF and WBO heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua and mandatory WBO title contender Alexander Usyk will take place on September 25. The announcement of the Joshua-Usyk fight, I don't want to say that in 2 weeks, since you guys are already tired of hearing this from me, Hearn said in a live Instagram broadcast. The date of the fight is September 25. It is expected that the fight between Joshua and Usyk will take place in London at the Tottenham Football Stadium. The WBC heavyweight champion Briton Tyson Fury once again commenting on the not the most adequate behavior of his opponent, American Deontay Wilder, after the defeat in February last year, considered that fighters of this status have to go to this in order to find the strength to continue boxing. It seems to me that you need to find the reason, if you have not been through this before, and I don't think he would have gotten off with one reason. So he came up with 20. Fighters have to say all this to justify themselves. You can't lose to the best guy. Admit that everything was fair. It's all like, my god, this guy had moon boots, and he put a crossbow in his gloves, the fighter said in an interview. The WBC heavyweight champion Briton Tyson Fury spoke very ironically about the work of his rival, American Deontay Wilder, with his new coach Malik Scott. Now he is training with a guy who makes him throw out combinations, do downward slopes and all that. This is not the work of a heavyweight. What happens when he tries to shoot back with 5 or 6 blows? Am I just going to stand there and wait for him to finish his work? No, I'll catch him halfway, which I wouldn't have done before, since he didn't throw more than 3 punches. So if he tries to pull this off, I'll cover him up and send him to bed. And I noticed all these biases, Fury said. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.